Yeah, buddy.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of On the Range podcast with War HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. How's it going today, Rick?
Man, Mark, it's going great. Hey, just want to thank the viewers, listeners out there for giving us your most precious commodity, your time to tune into the show. Man, we couldn't do it without you guys. We've moved up in the global position to the 2.5%. And again, we couldn't have done it without you guys. So appreciate all the support. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, that like button, leave us an emoji, thumbs up in the reviews, give us something just to help this crazy algorithm. And then, oh, by the way, if you guys are loving the show and want early access to On the Range podcast, War HOGG Words of Wisdom, Vantage Point, or the vlog, don't forget to check out our Patreon page, which is at patreon.com/On the Range podcast. We got training tips in there. We do a monthly Zoom call with our patrons. And man, it is just an awesome place to hang out. So if you want to support the show that way, definitely go check it out.
Yeah, wherever you are today, thank you for making us part of it. And today's episode is brought to you by Battle Brothers Shaving Company. Andrew Weiss has a great company. All the products, the shaving products, is made with the same aluminum made out of that make UH-60 Blackhawks with. He's a great guy. He does a lot of outreach. Go to battlebrothers.com and make sure you use the promo code OnTheRange15. Save yourself a boatload of cash. Rick and I both use his products. Rick does the beard oil and all the beard care, looking good.
So smooth.
I don't think your beard's ever looked that good.
It hasn't. I mean, it used to be all wiry and nasty and, little Battle Brothers beard oil in there. Yeah. Now it smells
great.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I use his shaving products. Unbelievable. It's like the old school double-edged razor.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it is amazing. It's just like, going back when I was a kid, watching my dad and my grandfather shave. It's badass. Check out their products. Again, visit battlebrothers.com and check them out. So today we have a special guest. We're actually getting into the wide world of sports, and we are introducing, as our guest today, Jon Fitch, the MMA Super Star. Man, started out at Purdue, Division I wrestler, had a fantastic career, then entered the MMA world and just took it by storm. He was one of those guys that, there was a lot of superstars back in the day when he was really coming into his own. And he was one of them, fought for the championship, had a great showing, and just unbelievable. Ended up making a championship belt in another promotion other than UFC, and just a great guy. He does life coaching. He has his own website, and also he has his own show and podcast called Jon Fitch Knows Nothing. It's a blast. He's drinking whiskey, talking about stuff, playing his ukulele. It's amazing. So let's go ahead and ring him in, buddy.
Yeah, man. I wonder, why is U.S. manufacturing in the crapper? And that's why, man. If we had some standardization, I believe it would make things so much easier. So it wouldn't matter necessarily.
Creates a lot more waste too.
Yeah.
But horribly
John, the new thing, throwing the other thing away.
Yeah. Since you brought that up, man, scholars of history, man, I absolutely love it. And especially when you bring up the business thing. So when you were doing your studies, let's think about it, right? So if you want to say early 1900s, all these companies, the business names were the actual owners' names. Their name was their brand.
Put their name on it.
Yeah. And I think we've kind of lost that over the years.
Well, it's all made in China and in Asia and Vietnam and Thailand and Pakistan and India. Like nothing's made here anymore.
That's a good point. I mean, you put your name on it back then. That meant something. You know what I mean? And they wanted it to last. They didn't want to have complaints. They wanted to sell to Americans and make them happy. And that's all gone. It's not like that at all. You can't even get decent service at any kind of retail anymore. They really can't. Yeah.
No. Especially if it's millennial or Generation Z workforce.
Oh boy.
It's I've been to the store and I went to get shoes, football cleats for my kids. And I asked the kid there, I was like, hey man, you got these? I had the shoes. I was like, you have these in these sizes. And the guy sighed and like rolled his eyes and then went back to the back to look for him. I was like, are you kidding me?
Dude,
It's like,
isn't that why you're here?
I said to my son, I was like, did I make a mistake? Does that guy not work here? It's like, that was a uniform, right?
Man.
Oh man. We did a podcast on that the other day, and I was at the grocery store, and this lady, I said, how are you doing today? She was, she was in her mid 60s and she was exhausted. She's like, I was only supposed to be here 6 hours. I'm on, 10. And these younger kids just won't come in. There's only 4 lanes open. I was like, man. Well, I appreciate you being here, but yeah, they can't get people to work, and they can't fire them because there's nobody standing in line to take their job. So they just kind of give them the time off that they want. It's crazy. But Rick was talking about the podcast, and I enjoy it. You've got some fitness stuff on there. You got some watch parties on there. You're playing the ukulele. We were hoping you'd bust that thing out.
I forgot.
It's pretty cool, man. I mean, how did that come about? I know Rick was delving into that a little bit.
So I started doing something called the Shake Break on my YouTube channel, and training for fights, doing whatever stuff. I had a time of day. My second meal of the day is a shake, and it's around like 9:30 to 10. So I was like, I'm sitting down for the shake. I might as well just stream and see, talk to people. Yeah. And I kind of started doing it as kind of like a self-help. Like, there's a lot of young guys out there who like never had a dad, and they just don't know how to do shit, and they don't know how to organize themselves. They don't know how to apply themselves, and they're a little bit lost. There's the lost generation of boys and men, right kind of now, last couple of generations.
Yep.
So, I had a great dad, and I got sons, and I've been through a number of experiences. So I think I got a little bit of knowledge to share on certain things. So I started just doing that to get a little bit of feedback from people, see what was needed, how I could fit into the kind of fit in the niche and help people out. And one of the things I started doing was playing my ukulele, because I'm not very good at ukulele. I'm not that good. I'm self-taught.
I think you sound pretty good.
The more whiskeys I have, the better I
sound. Yeah.
True with everything.
Yeah, isn't it?
But so like the reason I do it is because I want people to see that it's okay to suck at things. It's okay to just to do it. Right. You want to get better at something. You enjoy doing it, because I enjoy playing the ukulele. I'm not that good. I'm not that good of a singer, but like, I'm getting better, and it's fun to play. And I was just like, guys, it's okay to suck at something. It's okay to suck at something new. It's okay to suck at something you like doing. Don't get intimidated by people laughing at you, making fun of them. They're the one that has a problem. They're the one that has the insecurity. Like, just do it. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Because when you were a kid, like, who cared?
Yeah.
You want to keep that. You want to keep that mentality, keep that spirit when you're trying new things out.
Yeah. We have a buddy that says, if you're interested in other things, you're going to be interesting. And that's right at the point.
I say that to a lot of guys. They're asking, they're young guys. What should I do with my life? Or like, what things should I be doing now to have a better life later on? And I was like, one of those things is like, do interesting things, do a lot of interesting things, because that's going to make you an interesting person. Because whether or not you get good at them or you fail miserably, you're probably going to get a good story out of it. And you're going to be able to tell that story to people, and they're going to enjoy you telling that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick brings that up a lot, Rick, talking about how people associate with one thing and not being interested in other things, and it causes real problems. You know what I'm talking about, Rick?
Yeah. No, because I just wanted to hit on the point that John brought up earlier, man. You see this generation, and it's like, I had this young man reach out to me, and he's got quasi aspirations, if you want to say, about trying to get into special operations. But he pretty much lays it out. Hey, I'm not motivated. Don't know where to go, what to do. And it's like, dude, get yourself a win, and to me, it was fitness seems to be the easiest way. Right. So think about it, whether it's lifting 100%. Weights, if you can lift 5 pounds, more than the week prior, dude, that's a win. Or if you go
drop
out
your body fat down a little bit, you can run a little bit further or a little bit faster, 100%.
Something. I mean, it's a tangible win. And I think that's the biggest thing, where we're seeing this whole everyone gets a trophy culture coming back to bite kids, because they don't know how to push themselves. They don't know what do I need to do to get better. And man, if we keep this thing up, it's only going to get worse. So, the little shake break, man, I mean, huge to try to instill in these kids something.
And then I ended up upgrading to the once a week podcast from the shake break because it was daily. It was kind of hard to find enough stuff to talk about on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So, and then I was noticing like if views weren't great, I wasn't gaining traction there. So I thought, if I spent once a week and then put more effort into one show once a week, and then I've been doing that for almost a year. I can't even remember when I started, but I've been doing that for a little bit. So I'm having fun with that. But, you talk about easy wins. Like, I say this a lot all the time too. Stealing this from Jordan Peterson, but like make your bed, clean your room. Like those are easy wins. Like groom yourself.
Yeah.
Get up in the morning, make your bed, brush your teeth, like trim your beard, your hair, comb your hair, whatever. Boom. Like dress a little bit nicer. You don't have to spend a lot of money on clothes or whatever, but you can put a little bit more effort into like what you're wearing. That's a win. That automatically will lift yourself up a little bit. And winning is contagious. It's contagious. So you get little wins in the morning, and then you carry those wins into the afternoon and then through the night, and you just get wins all day long.
Yeah. Putting effort into something and getting those type of wins is it feels better. It makes you feel good about yourself and what you've accomplished today. It's being productive, and that's what I think a lot of you touched on it. Yeah. It's like you touched on it with the some of the generations coming up with the work and not going to work. I think people underestimate the value of going to work and doing something, even if you think it's a crappy job. There's no such thing as a crappy job. It's what you make of it,
No, man, I used to wash dishes, when I was up until my fight with Diego Sanchez, I was a dishwasher. Right? So 3-4 nights a week, I was scrubbing dishes. I was a bar back. So I was washing dishes, putting glasses away, and I had to run and go get liquor and open it and basically do everything the bartenders would normally have to do except to pour the drinks. I made it easy for them to just pour the drinks. And I was probably the best damn bar back you ever seen. Like they begged for me to work more nights. They tipped me out great. I was making $200 a night washing dishes and stocking liquor. And, that was just my attitude with everything I did. I was like, if I'm already doing it, I might as well nail it. I might as well master this and be the best at it.
Yeah. I think that's a great, I love the podcast. Like I said, I've watched it and I'm a fan of it. And the guidance that you're giving to young folks who need it, man, good on you. We talk a lot about those things, and it's, Rick and I feel that we were lucky, and like you said, some people didn't benefit from that. And any bit of help that we can do, and I can see you're doing it. It's needed.
I mean, I got kids now too, so it's like, the more the world's screwed up, the harder they're going to have it,
Right.
Well, I agree and disagree, John, right? I think if we lay a good, solid foundation in our kids, you're going to see what's going to wind up happening because, again, we're empty nesters. So my kids have grown and since, started their own lives. But you lay that good foundation, man, and I'm telling you, it's promising because what you're going to see is compared to their peers, there is no comparison because their peers, it's, I hate to say it, man, it's rough out there. And these kids just don't know good values, good work ethics. And if you can instill that in them, man, that's huge.
I saw, I can't remember what the numbers were, but I saw the numbers for like childhood obesity, pre-COVID lockdowns, post-COVID lockdowns is bad. It was bad before the lockdowns. And then afterwards, it went from like 30 something to 40 something percent. It's really, it's really awful. I mean, these kids, you spend your whole childhood obese, like we're not even talking about a little bit overweight, a little chunky, like obese. Like what's going to happen by the time you're in your 20s, like you're a serious medical condition.
Yeah.
Well, you got kids that are diabetics, man. I mean, I can remember growing up. Yeah, there was that one chubby kid that everyone picked on, right?
Yep.
But it wasn't that big of a thing. Now, I mean, can you imagine prior to being a teen, being diabetic?
No.
That is all, in my opinion, parent induced, man. You're not teaching your kids fitness. You're not teaching your kids nutrition.
Drink sodas all the time.
Yeah,
I've been at the gas station, and 6-year-old kid walks up and grabs a Monster energy drink, like a 60-some ounce can of I'm just like, man, like, where are your parents right now?
Yeah.
Should we get them Phil Cliff?
That stuff should. I can't even believe that they shouldn't be allowed to sell that to kids. You shouldn't even be allowed to buy a Red Bull if you're under 18. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But
So
that's the whole thing, man. Is the parents have to, lay the groundwork. Because I remember with my kids, we didn't give them soda. They either drank, good quality juice or it was water. That was it,
Yeah, I don't.
And
We have water, and we have these little mini drinks.
mm-hmm.
They're like the Cool Plus. It's like a what do you call it? The little gut bacteria little drinks.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But they're like 2 ounces.
Yeah.
So and that's I get every once in a while. Then like we go and do something special, and they'll get a Gatorade or a Sunny D when we go to donuts or whatever, apple juice.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very limited sugar water. Sugar water, like sugary fluid is like the worst thing you can put in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's like they went to this birthday party one time, and I think it was my daughter asked for water, and the mother was like, "We don't have any." It's like, excuse me? Hey, do you want?
I don't like the way it tastes. I've been told that. I don't like the way it tastes.
It's just like, come on, man. So, yeah, but that's. I would just say this.
It really is wild. I was in the 7th grade, and I quit drinking soda because I remember having I was at like a party or something. I drank like 2 sodas, and we're running around and being physical, and I just had like heartburn. I was like, this is terrible. And like I remember there was a few times where I got that heartburn when I was younger, and I remember being at that party, and I was like, I'm not drinking this stuff anymore. It's like it makes me feel sick. So I stopped. Luckily I stopped myself when I was 13 years old from drinking sodas.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I did drink a buttload of orange juice though until I got to college, and I had to buy it myself, and I realized how expensive it was. I was like, damn. I was like, I was drinking like one of those big orange Minute Maid jugs, like twice, 2 of them a week, just about.
Speaking of your college, I've always been an MMA fan, and I was a fan of yours, and I took a particular interest because of where you grew up. I believe you were in the Big Ten. You wrestled Division I.
Yep.
I'm in Southwest Ohio, so it's pretty close to where you grew up and stuff. So I was familiar with that, and I know you were in several different promotions. You had a lot of fights, and you're always successful, and it was always entertaining. And I know that some of the promotions are better than others, and I know you've been vocal about that. And I don't want to really get into that because I want everybody to have fun. I don't really want to get into any of the separation because I totally agree with how you were treated. And the thing about it is, did you really believe that some of the I believe it happens that some of the ways that they would promote and match people up was intentionally to make someone 100%. Have it seemed to me that it was.
Joe Silva's emails is a part of our class action lawsuit. Like he would tell guys, you can turn this fight down, but you're really not going to like the next one. You're not going to like the next guy offer you.
Yeah.
But no, and things have gotten a lot worse. The whole industry's gotten a lot worse. When UFC bought, Strikeforce, they monopolized the industry. They own the industry. Like nobody's trying to compete with them. Everybody kind of works for them. The managers became brokers. They're not even managers. They don't have your best interests. They in mind. They're more working for the promoter than they're working for you. And that's all of them now. You can't not operate that way because that's how the structure of MMA works now. Is the promoters have all the control. It's take it or leave it. And until we get some traction with either the Ali Act or our class action lawsuit or the Fighters Association, nothing's going to change. It's going to, the UFC is going to continue paying less than 20%. They're going to monopolize the top belt. There's still going to be the show. And regardless of what other promotions are doing, that's still where the majority of guys are want to go because that's where they're going to be able to make the most amount of money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I totally agree with that because to me, it seems like yourself, Diego, even Tiago, and then GSP and all those guys that you fought against. I think that especially the UFC has a star problem. There's not those guys that know their names and you follow their careers like that anymore. It's a revolving door.
Well, they've become a McDojo type thing, right? They're the fast food. They've created the sport. They've turned the sport into a fast food sport. It's not. I mean, it's a pseudo sport. It's really a production. But what they're doing is they've got the TV deals. They've got the UFC. Like people buy for the UFC a lot of the times. You know, your average fan doesn't really follow. They just want to see violence and see something exciting and somebody get knocked out. So they can just keep cranking through with lesser known, less popular guys, and then every once in a while throw in a title, and they still do good numbers.
Yeah,
you know, and because they have the top 90% of the top guys in each weight class, right? They're able to monopolize the top guys, the top names, and they prevent anybody else from entering the market. No other promotions can really enter the market because they can't get access to the big names, which they need to put on shows and fights and really make money.
Yeah.
So, John, do you think that's where you're seeing some guys split off and like go over to Japan and do stuff like that?
Well, the Japan market's it dried up a while ago when Pride kind of folded a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, a lot of the markets kind of dried up. There's a little bit less options. I mean, there are some places in you know, KSW in Poland. There's some shows in Russia, but you don't really hear a lot about those shows. One championship, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've come to kind of see is that a lot of these promotions out there, especially in other countries, they're more money laundering agents than anything.
Oh,
they're criminal enterprises where
Yeah.
where you can launder your cash and money.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Never fails.
Yeah. I mean, but you're right about that, because I actually have not purchased the ESPN Plus. I have for the UFC. I haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
And
then you now you have all these paywalls you have to get behind.
I just don't even. Yeah, it's a shame too, because I love MMA.
Yeah, well, and then we have the threat now that the same thing that happened with and boxing. Everybody, boxing's dead, whatever. Boxing, you look at papers from 100 years ago, the press was saying that boxing was dead. It's the same. It's the same promoter drivel that they've been pushing out forever because it helps them suppress the pay to the athletes.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in the U.S., North America, watch less boxing because of the paywalls. You know, in the 80s and before, everything was on free television.
Yes.
It was on ABC Sports, NBC, CBS, whatever. Like it was.
You remember
Ali and Foreman?
Yeah, Thursday Night Fights was on USA Network all the time.
Yeah, so like you had free fights on television, and that's why everybody watched it and loved it and thought it was great. But then when you started putting paywalls up and made it hard to find who to watch, when to watch, you didn't know who the fighters were, you didn't know what it was, what was going on. They started making up reasons why, there's too many belts, too many weight classes, whatever. It's really, I think, because there's no central point to watch them at. Whereas if you have, you know, football, soccer, NHL, baseball, there's usually like one, maybe two networks that host all of that league's competitions. And it makes it really easy for somebody to check the schedule and be like, I'm watching on Tuesday nights, always going to have this thing for me to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the streaming services have segmented those even more. I mean, even the Olympics, it was difficult to find any particular event that you wanted to watch. It's a lot of things like that. Like you said, the hands on the money are trying to make the most and squeeze the most, and it's ruining that you can't consume it. It's not easy to consume anymore.
Becomes difficult, and hopefully they'll fix that problem. If they could just, I don't know, man, if they could just come together and figure it out, it would be way better.
Well, I think here's the key thing, John, right? Whenever money's out there, it always blurs people's clear vision. And unfortunately, they're not always making the right choices. I mean, plenty of money out there for everybody, right? Equal distro. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out. But again, I think you kind of get some of that greed rolling in there where it's like, hey, you know, I'm going to sit there and take more than you, or however they opt to figure that stuff out. It's like, come on, man, you know, just hook it up out there. But